Hello, sim racers, and welcome to tonight's live. Tonight, we are going to race a real Miata in some kind of 12 hours endurance race. And yeah, I will talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about some news, and last but not least, we're gonna practice some more at Mount Panorama, Bathurst, because we're going to do the 12 hours of RCI. All right, so hi everybody to the chat. Hope everything is good with you guys. So what we're going to talk about today? So yeah, special day. So let me show you right away what this is all about. So there is a team of some friends. This is it. Okay. So there is this team of some friends which is called Motley Motorsport. All right? I hope you can see. Yeah, all right. So Motley Motorsport, they have a little Miata 1.6. They have stripped it out. It's a little bit lighter than usually a Miata is, but you know it's no big deal. I mean, it doesn't have any engine modifications or whatever. And those crazy guys, they are racing this Miata around. And you can see the photos here of the car, really nice. And now they want to participate on their first race. And the race that they want to do is actually a 12 hours endurance race, which is called the Fox Running, which is this thing here. All right? So it's this crazy thing here. It's going to be into a small circuit, go-kart circuit, two go-kart circuits together. It's a 3.0 kilometers track. And what is all about? It's 12-hour race. It's not really about the winner, but practically you start doing the race, and after an hour, the organizers find the average lap time that all those cars do, and they bring out, the decision that to be a Fox, you need to do a number of laps by the end of the race, like 70 laps, let's say. Okay, so all the cars that manage to go over the 70 laps, they are already into the Fox category, and they already gained the prizes and everything else. The other cars are chickens, so they don't get any prizes at all. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I mean, look at the faces here. It's gonna be really crazy. We have to do some working, some training. Everybody can run into this race. They don't have any limits of what kind of car you bring. If it's too slow, if it's too fast, it doesn't matter at all. And honestly, I don't have a clue what is going to happen, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot of fun. We obviously we will try to stream if it's possible. I don't know if the internet connection there will be good enough for us to stream. If we won't be able to stream, then we will register everything with GoPros and everything, and we will get back to you with videos and everything. Obviously, the most important part here, we need to say thank you to all the sponsors. And the sponsors are, of course, Sparco, which most of the guys work also inside Sparco. DM Garage is mechanical garage, which is taking care of the Miata and works on it. Then we have Carrozzeria 2A of Simone Andrea, which makes the stickers and the warping for all the car. Wrapping Italy makes the warping actually for the whole car and the stickers. Taro Special Tuners brings lots of parts for the car. MX5 Garage is another garage here in Italy that also give us parts for the car. BTS Pneumatici give us tires. And most importantly, I really have to talk about two personal sponsors, which as soon as I posted on the internet that I'm going to do this race, those two guys instantly contacted me in private and told me, what do you need? We are here for you. So we have here practically Type 116, Type 116 Motorsport. This guy is a sim racer. It has helped me with beta testing in the past, and now he's providing us with brakes and tires and stuff, so he knows what he is doing. I highly recommend you to go and click on his page, leave a like, and if you need stuff for your Lotus Elise or for your how do they call it, Vauxhall Roadster, or I don't know, if you are having any nice track day car that you need special parts and someone to take care of your car, I highly recommend you to go to this guy. His name is Chris, and ask him all you need. He's really good, and he's a great guy. And as I said, sponsors the car, our car with parts. And then we have SFR Italia, which practically also sponsors our race. And those guys are actually a sim racing legal. They are doing both GT3s and GT4 championships. They have just started this week the new series, and they still have some space. So if you're interested about this, you will find on the description of my video all the links for the sponsors. Go there, find them, and do your stuff. So I really hope that you guys at least give a like to the pages of these guys. All right. So this is all about the Fox running. I will give you more details as we move ahead. The race is for the 6th and 7th, no, actually 7th and 8th of November. And yes, 7th and 8th of November. And yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have lots of fun. Possibly we're going to do some testing, track day testing. Maybe I will do some, registering of those sessions, and I will show you on the YouTube, but for sure I will inform you about everything. So stay tuned. Follow me on all the social channels, and you'll learn more about that. And I'm very excited. All right, so this is it about this strange race. So, okay, what do we do now? Now, as I said, I wanted to do a small session of news in my channel. So, at possibly the start of every live stream, I am going to talk about interesting things that move around Assetto Corsa Competizione, legals that are very interesting and you might guys want to participate, or if you are trying to find a legal, or interesting news, or events, whatever happens around our world of Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now, first things first. Either I will find something that is interesting to me and I will talk about it, or you are more than welcome to send me private messages, emails, whatever, and tell me about your league or your championship or your events, or whatever you want to tell me about. Do not shoot the messenger. For the guys that I know of, I will say some extra things that I trust them and I know, or I have participated, and I'm glad to talk about it. For the guys that I do not know about, I will just report them as it is. If something happens, I know nothing. As I said, do not shoot the messenger. But I think it's a good and cool thing to do and talk about whatever happens every week. So I hope this thing is something that you like to see on the channel. If not, let me know and I will simply stop. All right, so let's start. The news. Okay, so the news. What we're talking about today. Well, first of all, you might have heard of the real race, Lamborghini eSport event using Assetto Corsa Competizione. If you haven't heard about it, this is the pretty impressive website that they have created here. and they've done numerous races. It was practically a championship. You can see here qualifications on round 1, 2, 3, and so on. And we finally had our winners, which was Neil Now Jogs, of course. Who else? If you don't like him, if you don't know him, go and find his YouTube channel. He's a very good guy. He's doing a lot of serious coaching. He has some great information about how to use the telemetry in Assetto Corsa Competizione, how to create proper setups in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We'll talk about high-level stuff. Matthias Egger was second, and Jordan Serrat was third. Now, those two guys, at least I don't know if Jordan also participated on that, they managed to win a test on the real, actual Huracan Super Trofeo. And that thing happened last week. Together with them, there was also Zardier. So let me show you a couple of clips that those guys just showed. For example, Niels just showed this thing at his Twitter account. All right. I mean, he's Niels inside the Super Trofeo. Now, how is that? Now, pretty exciting. And Matthias Egger actually said into his Facebook account, you can see him here trying to start the car. Here it is. And of course, the engine is dead, so he has to restart the engine and start again. Here you can see him smiling. Oh, I'm sure he was so excited to do that. And here it is. And of course, last but not least, everybody knows him. It should be here somewhere. Yes, so Jaroslav Zardier also tried the car. He hasn't posted yet any videos. I'm pretty sure, look at this happy face. So I'm pretty sure those three guys will show us much more videos in the following days. Possibly Lamborghini want to also create something special to talk about it, so some special video. So, you know where to find them now. Check the video again, go find them in their socials and follow them, because it's gonna be really fun to see their lap times and their video. I think they were at Vallelunga, so pretty exciting track. And I think it's really great that top sim racers get an opportunity to try the real actual track on a real actual race car. And from what I know, everybody was pretty impressed, but very impressed, to be honest. So, they were at Imola, right. Thank you, Flavio, for letting me know. So they were at Imola, even better. Imola is amazing. It's one of the best track to drive and really hard. So I'm really curious to hear them and listen to them when they will tell us about all this adventure. Right. So let's move on. Other interesting things. GT World Challenge Asia happened. And it was pretty important because from what I know, they did some pretty serious... wow, listen to that. They did some pretty serious numbers.
Our first GT World Challenge.
So I think it's very important that the Assetto Corsa Competizione goes to the Asia market, and they are doing their own esports series around it. And I know that the real drivers were a little bit too messy at the first race, but I'm pretty sure that they will find out how to deal with the simulator and the virtual track and everything, and the second race will be already much better. The actual stream races, from what I saw, it was pretty great, the race. So again, go into GT World Challenge Asia Facebook page, and there just hit like. You can find all videos. There is a YouTube broadcast, really cool stuff. So I highly recommend to go there and have a look at it. Next, what happens next? Right, so we have here a pretty cool Italian legal that creates open events on console. So as you know, I don't know much about consoles. I don't have a console, so forgive me for being ignorant in that and cannot really actually help console users. But those guys are creating, they are called Drive for Sim, and they are creating open events. I can only give you their YouTube channel, so you can go and search for Drive for Sim Racing Esport TV. Drive for Sim, I think if you search on YouTube for Drive for Sim, you will find it. And on the About, you can find also their website here. You can go in there, you can ask for help, you can join their events if you're on console, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have lots of fun in their legal. Another console, and much more important at this point, is from the SOP Motorsport, S-O-P Motorsport. Now these guys are creating exclusively console events and Legos, I think, but most importantly, on 16 October, so next week, they are going to do 100 drivers, 100 minutes, the Suzuka 100 they call it, instead of Suzuka 10 hours, on console. And they have some great, they are doing this together with CRN, Discord, CRN Legal. Here are their Discord links so that you can join their communities. The broadcasting is from Frank Lucid, which I've heard it's a really, really great broadcaster. You can find him here again. So here's his link. So it's www.franklucid.live. Pretty cool stuff. And as I said, they are doing this pretty good event. I think it's going to be a really, really good event. As usual, Quads Dave Academy always sponsors the great events. So very, very nice stuff. It's all on console as far as I know. So again, go to search on Facebook, SOP Motorsport. This is the page. Like it. And you can, from the page, you can directly go into their Discord channel and get into the community and find out whatever you need. They will help you. They will give you advice, anything you need in consoles. It's always better if you go into a community. So go and find those guys. Excellent. What's next? Well, next we have, you might have seen that I have actually shared a legal, which is called Caribbean Legal something. Right now I do not remember, but it's made from Wilhelm Weritz, which is a great real driver, real ring taxi driver. Those guys are fantastic. This is a great community. But while I was doing this, the actual community from Assetto Corsa 1, which is actually based in the Caribbean area of the world, they are actually contacted me and they told me, Aris, we are actually a racing organization that we do races on Assetto Corsa 1 because they are creating their own modes and they are recreating their own circuits from the Caribbean area. And so they talked me about this. It's a fantastic community. Here is the page. Again, hit a like. Go and find the CSRO community. They are organizing one of the best Assetto Corsa 1 championships. They, as I said, they have their own modes. They have their own tracks. They are doing a fantastic job. So if you are in that part of the globe and you are searching for actually proper racing with good service and everything, very highly recommended to go into those guys, get into the community and find out more and participate. So here it is. Next, I think I've talked about pretty much everything I had to talk today. Yeah, I think this is it. So this is the news from today. I hope you like this short list of links and interesting things that they are happening. And yeah, what can I say? Let me know on the chat. Let me know in the comments if you like it. My intention is also to cut this part and upload it as on a separate playlist, which will be called the news. And this is it. If you have something to show me, send me a private message, send me an email, something, and I will put it on the list and possibly show it. Right. Okay. So how are we doing on the chat? Nice, cool stuff. Nice. I'm very glad. I already can see you guys that you like it. So I'm really glad that you guys like this thing. Cool. Oh yeah, I can already see Shop Motorsport there inside. Pretty cool stuff. Also, I'm really glad that the console users start, to organize themselves into communities and start to enjoy the title properly. Really cool news. And I hope that the development team will be able to improve the title as much as possible so that you guys can enjoy it more and more. Yeah, Shop and CRN is in the house. Nice. I should do a motorsport, e-motorsport podcast. Podcast? I don't know. I've never thought about that. I mean, we could do it like that, but yeah, it might be a good idea. I don't know. Did you know coming today? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Might sometimes when you're trying stuff, you find something interesting to say. But anyway, okay. So let me see. So as I said, I am going to participate into Racing Club International 12 hours race again at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. And we're going to do it together with Gergo. Hey, Kuno's team. Unfortunately, Kevin, lots of real life things that he has to do. So he cannot really participate this time. So probably you're going to have Matt Samuel. If you don't know him, he's a real driver. He's a real drifter. And he will be joining us. And probably also Jarko is going to join us. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure if he actually said yes. It would be nice to be 4 because 12 hours in 3 can be a little bit too nasty and difficult for old people like me. But yeah, we are going to do this. And to do this, obviously, we need to practice a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are already want to know which car we're going to race. So let me go to the server, actually. I want to see if I can join the server. No, probably not today, because I forgot to put Steam online. Let me check. Let me put Steam online and get back into the game. So go online, Steam. Honda still OP at Bathurst. I don't think it's OP. It's fast, but I don't think it's OP. Ciao, Andrea. All right, so whoops, and let's go. Let's go in again. So guys, how are you doing? Any races you are practicing for this weekend, maybe? The Cockbox, yes, ACC has extra steer assist for gamepad. You can also disable it if you don't like it. You get extra handicap if you have steer assist, so it's all well balanced, let's say. So multiplayer here, server list, connected, nice. Practice in Silverstone, nice, Cravery. Silverstone is great. Actually, I was invited to race at Silverstone for SSR, SimSport Racing, but unfortunately it's one day before the 12 hours, and if I do Silverstone 3 hours on Friday, and then I do Mount Panorama 12 hours on Saturday, I'll probably die, so I'll just do one of those. Ferrari Sports Celtic, nice. Practicing Laguna, wow. PPR legal, practicing Suzuka. It's going to rain, oh my god. Oh, Leo, we'll be racing against each other in Bathurst, nice. I'm very glad, Zaymur, that you can play with the controller and it's still, consistent lap. It's not super, as you said, it's not super competitive, but it's good, So RCI. Come on. How's the name of the server? Menu Meteo. Martin Cireras asks for me to talk about Menu Meteo. Yes, we can do that, possibly. So you're gonna see the Menu Meteo. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let's do this. So let's talk about the weather menu on Assetto Corsa Competizione, because one guy asked it on the chat, so why not? Right, so in-game, we should be able to watch in-game now. Let's see. And weather and track conditions. So here it is. Oops, nice. We didn't cut the game. Interesting. Thanks a lot. Oh yeah. Okay, now it works. Yeah. BJ is good to know. I don't know that yet. I don't know when the AI will be there. Okay, so a guy in the chat asked if I can explain the weather and track conditions menu, this one, and why not? Let's do it. Well, first of all, there is some explanation here, so you might want, but mainly what you need to know is that we have some presets. Okay, so we have some presets. So simply you can select clear, cloudy, and you get different situations. Light rain, you get some rain here, medium rain. So whenever you click something like that, you get an already fixed preset, and when you select this, you go on the track, and the whole track remains in these conditions that you can see here disabled because you cannot change them, but you can see, so the cloud cover remains at 82%, the precipitation of the rain remains at 62%. This is the average ambient temperature. I will talk about you in a minute what it means. The grip level can be optimum, fast, and so on. And the wetness, again, is fixed. Okay, so this is what happens when you select a preset. It's pretty easy to understand, no big deal. Now, what happens here is when you go into custom, you can change everything, all right? You can change everything, and this is where the nice thing. So if you don't like some of our presets, you can go to custom and say, okay, for example, I need more clouds, okay? And you can put it on whatever number you want. Now, here's the interesting thing. You might say, yes, I need more rain, but I cannot change the rain. Well, to change the rain, you need more clouds. So if you see, by putting the rain at a higher level, at some point, somewhere around 60, you can have rain. So you need at least 60% coverage of clouds on the sky to start having rain. And not only that, but as you can see, the more rain you put here, as you raise the level of rain of precipitation, then also the cloud cover goes up. You can see that more rain, more clouds, more rain, more clouds. So all those things are connected. Same thing here. If you go down, rain goes down. So you cannot put, for example, completely, 100% rain and no clouds. It's just not possible. All right. Now again, we have the average ambient temperature. In a minute, I will explain you what average ambient temperature means. And then you have the grip level. Now, the grip level for the rain is as important as it is for dry track. You know that if you are in a clear, dry track, you can put simply green. Green grip level means that the track is completely cleaned. There is no rubber, okay, on the road, and you have less grip, okay. Now, fast is a little bit more rubber, so you have some extra grip on the racing line, and optimum is like, you just had a race happened before you go on the track, so all the cars running around, they have laid lots of rubber on the racing line, and you have the optimum grip that you can get from the track. Now, Assetto Corsa Competizione doesn't do 3 clear steps, so if you are in green and you go to fast, it's not like clack, and you are in fast and you instantly go faster. You go slowly from green, 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 green. At some point, we call it fast. But again, fast is another range of values of more grip, and at some point we call it optimum. But again, optimum, it's some range of values, and at some point you have the best of the best of the best. Okay, so even if you go, for example, in a qualifying session, and you find yourself that the track just went from fast to optimum, it still pays to wait to the end of the qualifying session to do your best lap, because this is where, from all the cars lapping, that you're going to get the best possible grip from the track. So this is grip level. Now, the exact opposite happens when you have rain. So if you have rain here, like this, okay, and you have an optimum track, this means that the track has rubber, lots of rubber, and when the rubber gets wet from the rain, it gets extremely slippery, because there is oil that gets thrown around, and it's very, very slippery. So the more rain comes down, and the more washes away the rubber, and the more it washes away the rubber, the grip level goes to fast and green. Now, this is inversed when it's rain. So when the track is green and it rains, you have the best possible grip on the racing line. But if it rains and the track is still at optimum, the racing line is extremely slippery. It doesn't last like this for a longer time, maybe 5 to 7 laps, something like that. But between those laps, especially if it drizzles and doesn't actually rains, the racing line is extremely slippery, and you should be very careful, or possibly go and brake on the outside of the racing line. You might have seen me doing that in the last race at Nürburgring, where on my last stint we had a full optimum rubbered track, and it started to drizzle. And if you look again at that race, and I will put the link here when I will cut this video and put it online again. You can go here and you will see me trying into the braking zones to go outside of the racing line, go straight, and then make like a V on the trajectory and get back out again as I could outside of the racing line to accelerate faster. You can also make a tiny bit more on the wider racing line inside the turn, and not go exactly on the apex, because on the apex you got lots of rubber. Now, you probably will see me only doing that on some turns, because you cannot do it on all the turns, and only for 4 to 5 laps, something like that. There were 40 cars on the track, and there was lots of rain, so at some point they washed out all the rubber, and we could get back to the racing line again. But still, there were problems, and obviously you might see and notice that curbs were absolutely lethal, so stay very, very careful. Yasin asked how all this is affected by the time multiplier. It does not get affected by the time multiplier. So this is actually physics. So everything is always real time. Even if you put it 2x, 3x, 4x, whatever, on the multiplier, you might see, the sun goes up and down. But how much time it is needed to wet a track, to clear a track, to clean the rubber line, and so on, this is not affected at all. This is always real time, 1x, and you cannot accelerate it. Okay? So this is for the grip levels. And then you can change the wetness, possibly, and you can change the standing water. So, for example, you can try something like this. So you can have here low precipitation and lots of standing water and wetness. So in this situation, if you are in a race, for example, you will have, after just a little, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 laps, whatever, with lots of cars, you're going to have a dry line, which is going to be very interesting. But all the actual asphalt outside the racing dry line, it's going to be still wet, and you're still going to have standing water puddles also in the racing line. So probably you're going to be needed in a situation like that to have slick tires, because the wet tire is going to overheat a lot. But you have to be very, very careful on what you're doing, because if you try to attack someone and go outside the racing line and brake, you're gonna end way long in aquaplaning. Or if you get a puddle and you are not modulating the accelerator on the puddle, you're gonna have big issues of aquaplaning. So MSX says, is there a possibility that in an endurance race the track can change from wet to green? Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, this is what happened, MSX, on the last race. On the last race, we went from completely rubber line. It started to rain. It was very slippery. Thunderstorm completely washed out all the rubber. The track went back to green. Then it stopped raining, and practically at the end of the race, a dry line was forming, and that dry line was completely green. So everything can happen. Yes, absolutely. The percentages, Mikael Medina asks, all these percentages are visible anywhere in the driver HUD? No. This is a very specific thing that we did to not let you know anything of those percentages. Why? Because a real driver doesn't know what percentage of wetness it has. You really have to understand, you really have to, try to get your risks, and find out what you can do. I mean, in the last race, we had a top alien guy, Niels Naujoks. We have that guy, top alien guy, best of the best of the best. Honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. He's one of the best guys ever, right? And he was driving a BMW. He was doing a great race with his co-drivers. And we started having rain, and he tried to overtake a car from the outside. He was that fast. And he went a little bit on the curb, and he spun. So he took a risk. He tried to do, and he felt that he could do it, but he spun. Stupid mistake, whatever you want to call it, loss of concentration, whatever. But this is all about racing. Real racing is all about taking risks or calculated risks. I don't know how you want to call them, and try to find that extra performance. And it's all about trial and error. Do something on one lap. Does it work? You don't know. Do something else on the next lap. Does it work better? No. Go back to what you were doing on the lap before, and so on and so on. This is how real drivers do it. Yes, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Okay, so if you don't know what to do here, obviously you can do a random weather, and you can select the variability of the random weather. Obviously, if you put random weather, you put it down to 1%, pretty much nothing will happen. But if you put it on 80%, obviously you have lots of percentages and possibilities that the weather will change. It's not that the weather will go from dry to wet. No, it might start wet and then dry down, or it might start dry and then start to rain, or it might do dry rain again, whatever. It's completely random. So there are possibilities, but the higher you put that, the more variation on the weather you're gonna have. Now, this is something very interesting here. Be very careful. Unfortunately, we don't explain this very well, but here's what you need to know. So if you select variability, the moment you select it and you go back, now the system, the software underneath has already made a selection of weather. So you go into the session like this, right? And we have rain. Now if I go out from here, okay, and go back in like this, now, and I have rain again. And you go out and you go in and you have the same rain again. So we had people saying, "Oh, but nothing changes. Where is the variability? Where is the randomness?" Now here is a problem. You need to go out, okay. I know this is a little bit of, and nobody tells about it, but here I am explaining. And you have to go back and then single player again. This is now changes again. Possibly, to be sure, just go inside here, go disable, enable again, and change it again. And this time you're gonna have a different weather, right? Because this is when it tries to understand. we got the same weather, doesn't matter. But this is how you have to do it. Okay, so you cannot go just back and forth, and try to have the weather you changing. It won't happen. You need to reset the whole system to get that new random weather. Okay, so this is something to remember. Okay, so this is all what happens here. Now, if still this is, I don't know, one day you're like this, you're watching the screen, you cannot really decide, you can still click on the randomize, and you get different levels of wetness, standing water, whatever. You see here, everything changes. It's completely random. So if you don't want to do something that you know what you're gonna find, just hit randomize, go back, and go to the race. Okay, right. So let's go back to clear, and here random, like this, disable like that, random weather disable. Okay. So I want to show you something specific. So right now we have nothing. This is all 0. So this is practically clear weather. Okay. And I have put the average ambient temperature 27. Now, why is this average? Here's the situation. The temperature in a racing track never stays the same. Okay, and this is what we're doing in a Sottocorsa Competizione, because we try to simulate all the situations, because we simulate a 24 hours race. So 27 degrees Celsius of average ambient temperature. Now we go into practice session. Day, night time, 9 o'clock in the morning, that's important. So we go inside. Let's load the track. All right. And what we have here now is 27 Celsius and 28 track. This is at 9 o'clock in the morning. Quit. Let's go back again. Now this time, I won't be changing the weather. Practice. 1 o'clock. Let's go do 2 o'clock midday. Okay, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, midday. Confirm. Go back in again. Thank you so much for your kind words in the chat, guys. So this is midday now, and now we have 31 degrees ambient and 42 on the track, because there are no clouds on the track. With all the sun that is directly on top of us, we have very, very hot track. So the 27 degrees average is during the whole 24 hours. That's why we say average ambient temperature, 24 hours. So in midday, you're going to have lots of hot with 31 degrees. Quit again. Yeah. And you go back to, I don't know, something like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, deep night. Okay, so let's go back again. And now the 27 degrees have become 19 degrees. 19 degrees and 19 degrees track also, because there's no sun. So you have the same temperature everywhere. Sorry about that. Other interesting things that can happen, for example, let's go back. So I hope now you understand what means average temperature. So let's go back to 2 o'clock in midday. 27 degrees, okay. So if you remember before, we had 31 degrees ambient because of the sun, and 42 degrees on the track, which is again very, very hot. Now I will raise this, the cloud cover, to something like 85%, so lots of clouds. Okay, back again, start the session. And here we are now, so no rain at all, but the temperature, the ambient temperature, is not so hot. It's not 31 degrees as before, because there's no sun. So it's 28, just a little bit higher than the average we had before. Okay. And also very important, the track temperature is also very low. It's 34. It's not that big difference as we had before. And if you raise the cloud, it's going to be lower and lower, up to go almost identical to the ambient temperature. So all that stuff changes dynamically inside the Sottocorsa Competizione, and greatly affects the physics and handling of your car. So to give you some example, the tires not only get cooled by the air, which has a 28 degrees temperature, but they also cool when they touch the ground, and the ground now is 34. So you can understand that the ground at 34 will cool your tires more than when you have sun hitting the ground and you have something like 42 or 45 degrees Celsius on the asphalt. Even more importantly, the brake ducts, the brakes get air from very low on the surface of the track. So if you have, for example, the same ambient temperature, 10 to 8 degrees, but there is sun, and so the track is at 40 degrees, you're gonna have your brakes hotter than the same ambient temperature, but in a cloudy weather, when the track is at 34 degrees. Why? Because the brake ducts, as I said, pick up air which is very low and very near on the asphalt. So they get something like an average temperature between the track temperature and the ambient temperature. So it's very important, this thing. All right, so what else? I think this is pretty much everything you need to know about weather. So this is another nice thing to cut for another video. Hope you liked it. Let me know if there are any questions about that. What's the max degrees on track? I think we're something around 55, 60, something like that. Really hot. Adding fog, we did consider it, but in the end we said okay, no, because to be honest, anyway, we considered it, but didn't happen. Right. Okay, so let's go back. So as you can see, it really is a quite complex system. There are some choices we've made in order specifically to not show you what is happening, because we think that you guys, I mean, you really need to start feeling the cars. As I said many times, sim racers for more than 2 decades almost, they have learned not to properly drive always, but to drive on the numbers. So we were looking at the HUD and we were like, oh, now the rain is 25% raining, 25% wetness. Okay, this is the time. Let's go to the pits and change the tires. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to feel it. You need to see what the opponents do. You might get your risk and it might pay for you, or you might, lose a lot of time. Everything is a gambling, you need to do this as they do in real life. So that brings you closer to what we love in the end, what they do in real life. Fanalab, no, I don't use Fanalab. Door, what is door? What is door? Another thing that you might want to know, as you know, we also simulate wind. Okay, we simulate wind, but as you can see, you cannot find wind anywhere in here. Okay, you cannot find wind anywhere in here. Why is that? Because wind goes up and down. So normally, when the weather is normal, wind is going to be pretty much stable. We do show you on the HUD how much wind there is. So when you go inside the game, you will see here, you can see the wind here is 0 kilometers right now. And when you drive with
green light, go.
With the multifunction display, you can change and you can find again the temperature over here at the top of the pit stop HUD. And on top of the right corner of the HUD, you can also find the wind. And you have the car from the above and a small arrow that shows where the wind is coming from towards your car in real time. So normally the wind stays stable, but if the weather changes, the wind goes up. We had also a bug on this. We fixed that. We fixed that with the latest hotfix that we released, 1.5.8. So now it works properly. So when the weather changes, either it's dry and it's gonna be, it's gonna rain. The wind will go up. If it's raining for a long time, and at some point, probably it's gonna change. The weather is gonna change. The clouds will go away, then again the wind will go up and give you an indication that something is going to happen. So again, wind, you cannot choose it, but it is inside the dynamic system and works properly. So if you have clouds, in order for the rain to stop, the clouds have to move. So wind comes in, the clouds move, and you don't have rain anymore. So this is it. Xavier asked about Nordschleife. Xavier, I don't know if you know it, but we have a drink game here. Everybody, every time one guy asks about the Nürburgring and the Nordschleife, we have to drink. And unfortunately, I finished my water and I cannot drink anymore, but everybody else can drink. So, and usually the other guys drink something heavier than water. So, here you go. All right, so. Yeah, and the chat goes crazy. Okay, so this is it. So time to do some online training, maybe. Let's see if I can find the server. No. Diesel asks, well, how different are GTA cars compared to GT3? Well, they are quite different. They have mainly differences in the suspension geometry. Not too many, but there are some differences there. They have a little bit smaller diffusers, but the whole aereo around the car is more evolved and better. But most importantly, they usually have also less power. But most importantly, as I said, suspension and chassis advancements are much more expensive and better than GT3 cars. But most importantly, the tires are different and they are specifically made for every manufacturer. So to give you an example what I mean, as you know, in GT3 cars they have a couple practically of dimensions of the Pirelli tires, and all cars get those dimensions. So a typical Ferrari will get a tire that is 680 millimeters diameter at the front and 705 millimeters diameter at the rear. And the same tire is gonna get it also the Porsche and the Mercedes. So it's the same dimensions on those cars, okay? Right. This is on GT3. Now on GT4, for example, Michelin will create the tire for those cars. It will create the same dimensions, but the skeleton, the characteristics and how it's made, and even the compound will be specifically made by the requests of the manufacturer of the car. So practically Porsche or Ferrari will go at Michelin and they will tell them, we have some issues of heating up that tire at the front, so we need something softer in the construction, and we need something different at higher speed, and Michelin will create, as good as it can, a specific tire specifically for that car and for the characteristic and the handling characteristics of that car. So the whole thing is made together, and this is one of the main reasons why the GTE cars are faster in lap times. Also, the teams in GTE are usually official teams of the manufacturer, and they have top level drivers, they have top level engineers. So even if they have whatever package of a car, they can bring it closer to the limit much better than in GT3. GT3 teams, which are very good themselves, but still it's not an official entry from the manufacturer. So Matthew, right now it's too soon to say. I'm still fine with ACC. All right, so yeah, BGs they're also slower at top speed. Even though they have, for example, you see in GTA have specific different aerodynamic packages for the whole body, depending on what track they go. So if they go to Le Mans, which they have those very long straights and top speed is very important, they have a specific aerodynamic body package for Le Mans, like Formula One brings a specific aerodynamic package for Monza, for example. So yeah, they're a different level of preparation and tuning and everything. All right, so team practice here says possibly if I can find the here it is. RC Motorsport Bathurst practice afternoon. Morning. Oh my god, they even have different. Oh god. So okay, let's go in there. Let me find the password. Password. Just starting. Yeah, you don't want to see the password. Okay, and change the car also so that you guys see the car afterwards. Yeah. So what should I do? Yeah, let's take this. Okay, and practice in the afternoon we said. Okay. Okay. And let's go in.
Green light.
Okay. So let's play a game. Let's play a game. Instead of changing the camera, which I know everybody will see, oh, Aris, change the camera, change the camera. So instead of changing the camera, I will do a lap, and at the end of the lap, let's see if you guys can find out what car I'm driving. Right, so let's see. Tap like that. Yeah, that's going to be really tricky. Okay, so are you ready? I believe you can hear the car. Alright, so let's see. You guys are amazing. Okay, what was it? What was it? Pretty sure. I think you find it already. Yeah. Everybody found out. Nice. All right. So I will show you. I think the best way to show you is by showing the replay. And yes, it's the Aston Martin V12. We're gonna be racing the Aston Martin V12, which we have already raced for 6 hours, something like that, at the Mount Panorama. But this time we want to take the car for 12 hours on the mountain, and I think it's gonna be amazing. Two Ford Mondeo blocks you welded together. Might be because this is what typically they do, in Britain, so in UK. So it might be very well be like that. It is yellow. Yeah, it's gonna be a banana. I don't know what kind of. I think we're not going to use custom liveries. I don't know if we're gonna use a normal editor livery. I don't know, but whatever it's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully going to survive. I hope. BJ Sketch asked for double traction control like the Aston Martin. The Ferrari has a traction control, double traction control. The new Porsche I think has a double traction control. The NSX also has double traction control. Yeah. Or maybe we will use the grey livery, yes, which is also very nice. So why the Aston Martin? Well, first of all, we were really pleased from the car the first time around. It's a very, very nice car, to be honest, and it's obviously something special. I mean, the whole event is full packed of really, really fast guys. And by fast guys, I mean extremely fast guys. Poor Gergo went to the pre-qualification without any practice at all and managed to not be last, but it was something like third from the last, so it's gonna be really bad. But we're always up for something special like this. On the Aston, consistency is the key in such races. Hopefully we're gonna be able to stay out of trouble, and if we do so, I don't know, we're gonna get into a higher place. If we be able to do something over 30th place, I will be more than happy. If we're gonna be over 20th place, I will be excited. If we're gonna be into the top 10, I will be out of this world. So yeah, this is it. All right. So Tortellini, we don't care what you do. Just go there, win the race. The important thing is that you don't crash into us when you are lapping us. All right. So, right. So need to do some practice. I need to find out some rhythm and hopefully I'd like today to be able to do 202 high, 203 low. I hope I will be able to do it. 202 high, all this with full fuel tank should be possible. So let's get on to it. All right. So return to the garage. Setup is already here. 108 liters, which should be good. New tires. It's a little bit hot at 31 degrees. So we probably need to lower. Let's go down by 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's try it. Let's do some laps. Right? Do some laps. Ha! Yeah, but I'm no Zardier. yeah, in front of us. I don't know if he's heating up the tires or if he's happy to see me. It's always so scary. This track is something really impressive. Ooh, there you have it. I have to catch my breath every time over there. Oh. Well, at least I didn't crash. Frame rate is a little bit crazy. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit too hot. I don't even know if I will be able to do a 202 in this kind of weather. Catch this Mercedes. Not if I'm doing that kind of stupid thing. The car is very loud, you say. How do I fix that? I'll have to give me one lap and I'll fix it right away. Sometimes ooh, scary. Whoa. Too much. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, that's typical, and that shouldn't have happened during the race. But that's why we practice. All right, so options audio. Yeah, that's why. Let's bring that bar down to 60. All right. Hey, hi there, Alexander. Okay, let's drive again. How is it now, guys? Can you hear me? Or do you hear the engine? Let me know. Is it better when I talk over the engine? Is it better like that? Still too high? Is it too high like this? Is it better? What do you think? Perfect. Good. Alright then. Alright, let's go. I'm always too loud. My wife and son always tell me I'm way too loud when I talk. I'm impressed I haven't crashed on the downhill yet, but I crashed already at the end of the straight, so too confident. My God, it's so fast. That was messy. Throttle! Ooh, fuck. Brake. That turn always gets me. The worst place for me. Yeah. If you don't nail the turn-in speed, then it just, flows forward with so much understeer. Let me go back a little bit on the brake bias. Kiss on the wall there. Still not good over there. Better, but not good. Yeah, that downhill section is unbelievable, unbelievable. Whoa, come on. Oh, oh, dude. That was some good drift over there.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
don't think the Ferrari has two in at the front. Another kiss of the wall. I really need to get better here. Otherwise we won't survive 12 hours race like that. That's a bad lap. Just can't make that turn. Really driving bad. Ah, you mean the SE1? Well, that's a challenge car. Hi, Mika. What am I doing? Pressures are also pretty high. There's also some wind. No wind. Still bad. Finally, we made the T1. Yeah, rejoice. Come on, man. Oh, that's terrible driving. A little bit better. That was almost decent. And there you have it, straight like a stupid idiot. Blah.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
You guys. Oh, come on.
It's like Jimmy from back of the car.
Go away. Return to garage. Ah, that was bad. Okay, so too high pressures maybe. Maybe at the rear. 2, 3. 1, 2. Easy for you to say don't hit the wall. Go and drive the car. Alright. The car is a little bit on the heavy side. I would go down here a little bit and see if I can improve. A little bit of turning. And one click at the back and see what we can do. Hello, the rear is pretty low. Yeah, the traction control here is pretty terrible. Alright, let's do it. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Such an idiot. Yes, yes, back. And drive. And go again. This time, engage the pit limiter. And now you can do it.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead.
Hello! Mikhail, I don't understand what you mean. Please explain better. No, well, I prefer without, actually. Normally, I would have used this one, you know. Oops. this one. Normally I would have used this one, but I'm always using this one so that you guys can see how I move the wheel, how I move the steering wheel, and by doing it every day, at the end, you know, I'm so get used that if I change to the other one, I probably will have some issues at first to, you know, to understand what I'm doing. And it's all about, you know, getting used to stuff. It's all about getting your brain to get used to whatever you do. Oh, at least it turned. That's promising here. We actually have some turn in now. Whoa, too much. Γεια σου Παναγιώτη. Everything is dangerous in Australia.
Well done, mate. Got some fastest now.
Ooh, the Mercedes. Hello, Mercedes. Bye, Mercedes. That was bad here. Lost it completely. That's a pity. Must have been a decent lap. This would have been a pretty good lap. Except the stupid errors.
Well done, mate. Got some best.
Come on! Oh, hello, Mercedes behind me. Oops. Session ended. Hello! Oh my god, what was that? How did we do that? That was nice. I saw the guy inside was like, oh! Bonk and hello! Bloop. Yep, little kiss. Oh, I need to see this from inside the other guy. You're like, ah, I'm gonna get him. Yes. Yes. Oh, he missed. Wow, look at that. Haha. Yes, I got him. Oh my god. What is he doing? Oh no. No. Ah! Alright, let's go back to the garage. Miata DLC confirmed. Well, not exactly. Green flag wavy. Yes. Alright, let's wait for the next session. Next session. Come on, next session. Who else is lapping? Everybody. Ooh, the old Bentley! The old Bentley. Who is this hero? No, it was the new Bentley. It was the new Bentley. Yeah, it was the new Bentley. Now nobody's so crazy to get the old Bentley. Alright, temperature's the same. Zan asks, when I'm racing a car like mine that is in a season that doesn't exist anymore, like 2019, we now use the old Aston Martin V12. How is the BOP calculated? Well, the BOP is calculated in proportion, let's say. Okay, so in a way that we know that the car is not so good performance anymore, but it is good enough. We knew that the year before that car won the actual Mount Panorama, so it was a pretty good car, but obviously not enough evolution to win the next year. So it's like, you know, we have to put it into. We look at the BOP of the old year and see if we can use the same BOP. We use the same BOP, we see where the car stands in terms of performance, and if it's needed, we're gonna add a couple of kilos or, you know, take off a couple of kilos, something like that, to put it to a level that, you know, it cannot win the race outright, but it could stay relatively close to the top 5 cars, something like that. Yes, Bathurst 2018, yeah. Right. Okay, let's do a couple more laps, see if we can go down to 202. Timber rating suffered because of the quali sessions. Yeah, but who cares, right? I mean, of course it will go down, and then it's nice again to see it going up during the race. So, I mean, and again, it all depends. For example, if you do a mixed race, as we did in last week or something, obviously I was driving a GT4 car, and my consistent rating suffered a lot. It is one of those ratings that I, you know, care about because I'm pretty good at consistency. But it suffered a lot because obviously you do one lap at the Nürburgring at 2:04s, and then you do the next one at 2.8 because you had all the GT3 cars overtaking you. Who cares? Statistics. I don't give a damn about it. So yeah. I don't know, honestly, if it takes that into account, to be honest. Might be, because I think consistency only changes during the race. But I'm not so sure. We would have to ask Kevin about that. Yeah, Tortellini is right. I mean, in the end of the day, the rating averages to something that, is what you are. I mean, we have plenty of guys, you go in groups and forums, and you have plenty of guys complaining that, I have my safety rating going down because idiots were, bumping into me and so on and so on. Here's the sad truth. If you are a good racer, and with a little bit of luck you go and find good races, it also takes some, if you go always at Monza, what do you expect? But if you go into some other tracks and you do some good races, the safety rating inevitably, if you are unlucky, slower, if you are very lucky, faster, but inevitably will go up. Now, if your safety rating still stays at something like 40 after, 6 months of playing, maybe you shouldn't, blame so much your bad luck, but maybe you should start asking questions to yourself, either on your track selection habits or how you drive, because if so many accidents are happening to you, on average, and you stay in something like 30, 40, 50, then maybe it's not the bad luck, but it is that you either go and search for the accident, you provoke the accident, or you are in the middle of the accident way too often, So if you are low in safety rating and you try to go up, don't care about overtaking cars, don't care about winning, just care about participating and staying safe. So if you see something happening, raise your foot, stay very careful. Yes, you're going to have the idiot that will going to bump you and you might lose some safety rating for that. But on average, you'll start climbing, and you'll start climbing very, very soon and very fast. If that's not happening, something is wrong. I'm sorry to tell that, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sorry to give you bad news like that, but, right, so now the wind direction indicator, Mike, shows, so the icon on the side of the arrow is your car from the top. So as the car is right now, on the angle that I have right now, it means that the wind comes from my left, from my left, exactly from my left. As I move the car around, you'll see the arrow change, so let me show you that right away. So if I, let's put the MFD, you see the MFD here? So if I rotate the car like this, give it
Low tire pressure, stay
time,
clear of the curbs.
you will see that the arrow will change. The arrow doesn't change because it is 0 kilometers per hour, so it doesn't divide by 0 and it stops like that. But if there was any wind, you should see the arrow changing in real time. Okay, so maybe we should fix that. I think so, Mikael. I'm not so good on the racecraft stuff. Yeah, I mean, ratings. Now, there is two things we discuss always inside the team. I am the Aris legal, let's say, and the Kevin legal, but it's all mixed up. Usually, I think that maybe the fact that we put numbers in the ratings was a mistake, because people are on the numbers, and I had 98 and now I have 96. Disaster! Disaster! Why it went down to 2 points, And I am more of the idea that ratings should be categories, bad driver, average driver, better driver, good driver, excellent driver. That's it. Numbers behind still change, but you don't know about them. So you are an excellent driver, let's say from 80 to 99, and whatever happens behind, you don't even see it, so you don't break our balls every day, so to say. So you just, get excellent driver. Yeah, maybe you went down from 99 to 92 for whatever reason, but you still stay an excellent driver and you're happy. You don't know what's going on behind the scene. Other people say that no, numbers are better because they give you an idea of grinding and it's part of the gameplay. It is true. I agree with that too. But you break our balls way too much. So but, that's just personal opinion. It's fine either way, so I don't have issues on that. It's not something I care to, to push or make pressure about. So. How driver swaps work? It's pretty easy. All you have to do and be very careful to give the exact names, surnames, and so on, all the details that your league administrator, race administrator needs to configure the server. They have to be extremely accurate. Even if you put a space invisible by error, that will ruin your race and you won't be able to driver swap. Other than that, you just go into the pits and you go into the multi-function display here, you see, and you go down and you can select a driver. And if everything is configured correctly on the selected driver down here, okay, you will have your name and the name of your co-driver. So you just select his name, okay. You will see on the top left that he is requested, okay. And when that happens, you simply go into the pits, you do the pit stop. When the pit stop ends and you have control of the car again, your teammate will have control of the car. It will simply drive away, engage the engine, go away, drive away, and that's it. That's it mainly. If you want to understand how it works properly, I highly suggest that you go on my last live stream where we had driver swaps. Move around on the video and find one of our pit stops, and on the pit stop you will see maybe a couple of laps before you will see how we change on the MFD and we select a different driver, how the driver is highlighted on the top where all the driver names stay with connected, offline, requested, and so on. You will see it's easier to watch it than to explain to you. And then you will see that I simply go in there, a timer goes up to tell me how much time the pit stop goes. When the timer ends, I don't have control of the car anymore. My teammate has control of the car, and that's it. You can. I'm not so sure about special characters. I'm not so sure about that. I would advise you to, write in Latin letters, and I highly advise to do some practice driver swaps. Usually on endurance races, the race admins create servers for practice driver swaps. So you go in there and practice. What values do I use? I just changed to the new driver, so I'm still, fiddling around. I will tell you next time when I'm better on that. Do I need the Assetto Corsa Competizione SDK? I think you just need to run the dedicated server too. That's all. Καληνύχτα, Graziano. Καλησπέρα μάλλον. Vai via, vieni adesso, non lo so. I don't know about Elo. Again, we have to ask him. I'm dumb, stupid on that. I have never, dig around it a lot. I just see numbers go up and down, and when they go up, I'm like, yeah. When they go down, I'm like, ooh. That's it. But to be honest, on the Dev Blogs official forum, okay, you know where that is, and if you don't, check the description of all my videos. It's always in there. You will find all the necessary information about the ratings. There is a specific thread that talks just about the ratings. All the information is in there. If something is not clear to you, just write there, ask a question, and I'm sure the guys will reply. Blank panes no more, yes. Okay. Safety cars added on the game? No, I don't think so. It's a lot of work, a lot of licensing work too, because you have to pay the licensing also for the safety car. Really isn't worth it. So I don't think. I mean, never say never, but I don't think we'll ever see this. I like your cat Z. Okay. DLSS of the drink, yes, of course. Probably yes, it will lift, although it doesn't work like that simple. I mean, it's not like, yes, the aerodynamics will definitely feel any direction you do, especially when you go sideways. The aerodynamics get a lot of influence on that. So yeah, that's happened. But it doesn't work like that. It's not like if you go backwards, the aerodynamics are the exact opposite. You know, you will probably get some lift, but it's not exactly like that. Yeah, but the fact that it is similar to the Audi R8 GT4 doesn't mean that you have the licenses for it. It's actually the road car with also, you know, lights on top, etc. You need a specific license. Yeah, the amazing world of licensing, and that's why Marco Massaruto is so important to us, because without licenses you cannot do anything. It's very hard job to do, and is exhausting and costs a lot of money. All right, so what we were doing, let's do a couple of laps more, do some practice more, because we need more stuff. We need to get a little bit better. So yeah, okay, right. Yeah, safety car doesn't really work. That's true. I mean, the cars just get removed, so what's the point? Well, GTR is behind. Nice. Hey BJ, thanks for passing. Thanks for following here. Have a good night. Okay, let's get back to business and see if we can do a proper lap. My frame rate is a little bit strange. Something I haven't configured properly in my video card, I believe, so I need to check about that, possibly before the race. How fast is the Godzilla in the straight? Pretty fast. Haha, not so fast anymore. Haha. Where's the moon? I lost the apex. And again. What I'm thinking. My mind is... I'm daydreaming. Oh well. It's a pity for that those two turns. Otherwise it could have been a decent lap. But still might be a 203. Yeah,
Well done, mate.
just, but
So far.
still good. I did 280? 280. Nice. Oh, I've missed the gear, the downshift. Just, I've missed it completely. Oh well. And I miss the upshift now. Balance. Now I miss the epic. Can I stop missing things here? That would be nice for a change. Oh my god, that downhill section is always so scary. At least it seems I can brake for this turn now. Tortellini, yeah. As long as I miss the walls, everything is fine, right? Yeah. I'm coming in way too fast. Come on! Ah, I hit the turn. Just not good at it.
Brother lane, personal fastest lap.
Oh, it sucks. Ah.
Brother lane, this has been your personal best.
Oh, come on, the GT4s cannot do 203. Usually they are at least 10 seconds lower than
Yellow flag in sector 2.
GT3s. Oh! I'm watching the chat again. No, come on, the GT4s cannot do 203, come on. Drink! I cannot drink. Oh, I scared him. Sorry about that. No, I'm a GT3. I'm on the V12 Aston Martin, and I'm full fuel load. Full fuel load. Full fuel load. Come on. We have to do a 202. Even though it really doesn't matter, we need to do more laps to get faster and more consistent, but practice is practice. I don't know either. Hello, Lupo. That was fast. For the sake of me, I cannot do that turn properly. Just cannot do it. Ryan, what message? Ah! Quack! Quack! Good. Too hot. Come on. Yeah, somewhat better. still not perfect, but a little bit.
Well done, mate. First of all, guys.
Oh, fuck it. Ah. That was better. Still a little time. Yeah! It's not valid. Fuck. It's not valid. My favorite. I don't really swear a lot. I don't swear a lot. Oh, I don't know. Greek and Italian, I guess. Ooh, again. I can't do it. Too fast. Hello, Mercedes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Whoa! See this? Right. Okay. Damn. Yeah, I need to improve that wall over there. That was stupid. Yeah, you do lose a lot of aero and performance. The more you scrap, the worse it gets. Tortellini. Oh my god, yeah, okay, so my throat is dead because I have no water today. I forgot to get water, and I'm without water. First world problems, so I cannot talk anymore. My throat really hurts. Let's go and have a look at some guys, maybe. Ask questions, guys. Let's do some questions and answers, and then let's call it a day for tonight. A little bit of practice, some decent pace, not good consistency yet, but we have a week, so I'll work to that, and by next Saturday we'll be ready. Leo, the setup is not good. It's not bad. It's good. The car has issues. The car has issues. It's not, it's not a modern car. You have to grab it by the neck and force it to do things that really doesn't want to do. It's a good car in terms of, it's okay. I mean, if you abuse the car will deliver, and it will not really bite you back. But it's not a perfect car. It's not, the car that you can drive around and it will be. You have to respect the problems. It has a heavy front. It's understeery. It has all those problems, and especially when it is very when your fuel tank is full, it's really heavy. And it scratches down a lot. It touches the ground a lot, and that also, unbalances the whole car. So it is what it is. It's not that you can do much better with a better setup. Probably you can, but not by much. I mean, I've tried different setups, also from different people, and it always stays the same thing. How can you grow a bird like mine? Martu asks. You have to wait around 40 years, because when I was like 18, 20, 25, I have, one hair here, one hair here, one here. It was a disaster. I always had lots of hair on top of my head here, but everywhere else I'm practically bald. And after, I think I started making the bird like 38 years. After 38 years of life on the planet, I finally managed to do some bird, and after 45 years I still get better and better. So yeah, never despair. What car in GT4 is more balanced? I would go with the Aston. Just as with pretty much all the the GT4 cars, watch out for the brake distances. They are longer, and the ABS system is not so advanced, so you need to brake with your steering wheel as straight as possible, because if you start braking with your steering wheel, towards the turn or something like that, the brake distances become much longer, and you cannot really stop the car and put it on the turn. So brake early, brake straight, and then everything will be fine. If you fancy a car that is lighter and you can brake later, but then you really have to work a lot bringing the speed inside the turns, then go to the Porsche Cayman. Very, very well balanced car, even if it's mid-engine, but still more difficult to drive than an Aston, so to say. Let's see. Yes, you have to wait 12 more years. Matthew, I wish I could, man. I see some 80 years old guys, and 70 years old guys with beard and everything at the school of my son. And me and my son, which is exactly like me, we're like, how is this even possible? What kind of drugs do you get to have a beard like that at 70 years old? I don't know. Mike, glad you heard it. You heard about that. I know nothing. What is a good stable car to start GT3 legal racing in? Aston V8 is one of the most well-balanced and well-behaved car by far, but it doesn't have enough engine. So you will need to learn to bring a lot of speed inside the turn, So that's a problem. The Lexus is also a good car, but scraps the ground too much because it has a very long front end. What else? The Nissan 2018 is also a well-balanced car, but also slow. The engine is powerful, but in the end the car is slow. What else? All the other cars you start having, it gets more and more difficult. More and more difficult. There are new tracks coming in first quadrimester of 2021, so new year, first months of new year, British GT DLC, yes. How much time it takes to develop and implement all individual component physics and objects of a GT3 car? Not visually included, but how many people? If you talk about the physics of the car, so input all the data, research all the data, get the feedback, input the data, verify the data, telemetries, all that stuff, then it's difficult to quantify because I never work in just one car at a time. I usually work on different cars and keep updating all of them together. I would say 2 to 3 weeks for a car. But then again, it depends because I never work 2 to 3 weeks in just a single car. So it never happens. But let's say 2 to 3 weeks. Ideally a month working together with other cars. I do all that work. I do it alone, all that work. In terms of physics code, all the physics code we have is based on the work of Stefano Casillo, again just one man, and many improvements we had lately are based on the work of Fernando Barbarossa, which is our new physics coder. It codes the physics engine. But in terms of data, how you make a single car, that's me. That's all of me. Drink. Yes, of course, Mikael. We do have Donington for the British GT circuit. It's not a circuit. Donington, Snetterton, and Oulton Park, and all the BOP of the British GT Championship. So, very, very nice tracks. Very, very nice track. Ferrari is a decent car to learn. It is a particular car. It has a very advanced aerodynamics platform, which also takes some learning. It might feel easy, but when you are trying to get out the last tenths of a second to go really fast, it gets more and more trickier, more and more difficult. Gabriel asks about the 991 GTR GT3 car. if the speed, the secret of its speed is the agility. It is agility because the car is very light. It's lighter than the other cars because of the BOP. Don't ask me why. It doesn't have a proper diffuser, so it has to make the downforce from the rear wing, and that obviously gives it extra drag. And it has a normal aspirated engine that it is the smallest of all the normal aspirated engines. So they make it lighter from the BOP to make it, on par with the other cars. But that lightness creates that extra grip and that extra, agility that you feel. Obviously, having also the back at the rear end gives extra agility. Favorite GT3 car? I don't have one specific. I change my mind from day to day. I love them. They are my kids. I love them all. They are my babies. Γεια σου Γιάννη! Bob V asked what is the FF bar that you see, that gray bar that goes up and down. You use that, it is the first feedback bar, you use that to understand if you have lots of clipping. If you see it becoming red for long time and stays red for a long time, then it means that you have clipping, which means that it goes up to maximum and then doesn't give you extra forces. It doesn't give you extra forces, which means that you don't understand what happens. You will only feel one force and that's it. So if that happens, the advice is go to the options menu and lower a little bit the gain. Okay, so go into the options controls here, and gain, you go from 100. If you have a consumer, you go a little bit down, and what you want to see is that bar that goes and becomes red only in very short amount of time in specific situations. So you jump over over a high curve and it goes just instantly red, and that's it. That's fine, no problem. But if it stays red for a long time, that's not good. You are losing forces from your steering wheel. I have no idea, Richard. No idea. All right, guys. So it's Tiger, noi regaliamo spesso delle cose. Forse non sei al corrente, ma quando il gioco è uscito era la stagione 2018. La stagione 2019, quando è uscita, era completamente gratis. Era un DLC praticamente, ma gratuito. Ne abbiamo regalate parecchie macchine anche per Assetto Corsa 1, perciò spesso succede. Ma d'altronde tutte queste cose costano soldi, e se vuoi avere dei titoli, noi bisogna farci pagare, se no è impossibile. FFP clip, you mean Celtic Faro? You mean that little text file that you put and changes the response of the force feedback? If this is what you mean, this is already enabled inside Assetto Corsa Competizione. It works in exactly the same configuration as with Assetto Corsa 1. If you search on the official forums, you will find how to use it. I don't know about that, Dotback, sorry. Mark 2, raise the rear right head, or raise the bump stop range. Bump stop range. Make it higher as a number. Ruote scoperte non credo. Tortellini slow, I can do that. Maybe, I don't know. That Celtic, I don't know about that. I don't know. Grazie Tiger. Però if it moves very little, it might mean you have too little force feedback, but if you have a direct drive, for example, you want it to move relatively little and you just crank up the direct drive. The noodle. The noodle in GT4. The noodle is we can well, tortellini is not a noodle because it is a it's a filled pasta with stuff in it. But yeah, I like we could call tortellini noodle from now on. Shiny Vulpix, that's not something I can answer. I have no idea, but it's definitely not at all an easy thing to do because we have lots of custom code inside, and that would mean we need to rewrite all the custom code and make sure it's compatible with Unreal 5 and DirectX 12. So I have no idea, honestly. Richard, don't know what to tell you. This is way too much to the future, and there are, those are kind of questions I'm not the one to answer. I'm not working with the graphics engine, so I don't know. Kim Young Understeer, not the rates, not raise the bump stop rates, raise the bump stop range, the other value, the range, so that you don't touch the bump stops that soon. You touch them later. That will make the front end having more mechanical grip and more aero grip because it will go lower to the ground. Tiger, hai ragione. Martu, I don't know that, to be honest, because I've never used that loot for the force feedback. It should work anyway, but to be honest, you better go to the forum, find the thread about that loot, and ask there. No, don't get McDonald's breakfast, mate. Just, get a couple of eggs, some butter, and make scrambled eggs yourself. It's easy, much more healthier. Do that. It only takes like 5-10 minutes. No, GTA will not come to Assetto Corsa Competizione. Assetto Corsa Competizione is the official title of SRO. SRO is GT3 cars, so nothing to do with GTA. GTA is WEC. It's a different category. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Have a great night. Potato experts. Right. Right. That's what I love with you guys. I mean, we can stay here and chit chat all day. It's great. I love it. All day, all night. Right. Yes, we are very happy with ACC sales. Keep in mind, it's a niche product. It's a niche of a niche. So sim racing is a niche of video games. It's a very small niche. Single series GT3 cars is a niche of sim racing. So it's a niche of a niche. But even though it's doing extremely well, we are very happy about it. Without changing the balance of the car. More traction control. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, if you're gonna have more traction, you are going to change the balance of the car. You could try small changes like that. So try this until you can handle it. So try 3 clicks at a time, less rear toe. So let's say you have 0.2 positive rear toe, you go to 0.17, 0.13, 0.13, 0.10. See what happens, okay? Until it doesn't bother you, and it, from one side it gives you, no, sorry, the other way around, more toe. So you are at 0.2, you have to go to 0.23, 0.26, 0.30, and so on. That should give you a little bit more traction and a little bit more rear camber if you have extra rear camber, or you could do something different. You could lower a little bit the rear ride height, just one click, and that obviously will give you more rear stability, more traction, and more understeer probably in other places, but then give less rear camber. Go to lower numbers like -3, -2.5. Now this will make the rear end rotate more, okay, but with less camber, it's less snappy. It will be more controllable. You will have the rear end rotating, but it will rotate gently, and you will be able, the feel will be, okay, I have more traction, I can attack more, because yes, it rotates and slides, but it slides in a much more gentle way. So maybe you could try that. One less rear right height millimeter and less camber. Try that. I don't know, Reason. Ah no, beh, Tiger, non ti posso dire di no per i prossimi mesi, ma in futuro, non so il futuro, non lo conosco. Zero simulazioni! Ciao! Ah, sorry to hear that, Joseph. No idea, Giuliano. Yeah, try that, Voodoo Child. What you can do when the tires are overheating? Not much. Not much. Obviously, okay, it depends a lot of many conditions. Overheating alone doesn't tell me much. But things you can do. Softer dampers. It can give you up to 5 degrees less heat. Higher brake ducts, wider brake ducts, that can lower a lot the heat. So make them as wide as possible, and that will lower the tire heating also. Other things, less camber, less toe. This will also make the cars, make the tires cooler. That's it. And obviously, driving style. Driving style changes everything. I don't know about Grizzle. Yes. Because, Shiny Vulpix says, in Porsche car, the operating window seems very low, very narrow, I guess. It says, on quite a few cars. Using high caster helps a lot with stability. Why is this, etc.? Well, the problem with Porsche car is that you have plenty of high-speed turns, medium to high-speed turns, and you have a couple of very high-speed turns, the highest speed, and they are also under braking. Porsche car is actually one of the test tracks that teams bring amateur drivers to teach them how to drive GT3 cars, which are, as we said, very often extremely pitch sensitive. They are extremely aerodynamically sensitive cars. So they need to understand it. I've been in front of an engineer who was talking to a driver, amateur, wealthy guy, money and everything, happy to be there, having fun. And he was saying, when you arrive at the end of the long straight and you have to brake for that turn, I don't remember the name right now, Mistral, I think. So when you have to brake for that turn, brake straight and go into the turn on the accelerator. And he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, got it. No. Eyes on me, he told him. Listen to me. Brake straight and then go on the accelerator. If you don't do that, you will die. He's like, yeah, no, you will die. Do exactly as I tell you. And so he scared him. So in order to convince him to focus and be careful, because those cars, if you really go in there, even on a good setup, and you're not, you're not paying attention on what you're doing, and you don't do, you drive the car as a normal car, a street car or a GT4 car, then the car would spin because you go into there with lots of pitch sensitivity. If lift your foot from the accelerator, instantly the aeroforce goes to the front. There is lots of downforce that goes to the front because of the high speed, and you spin. And so I was in there, I was in front of them, and he was dead serious, and the guy was like, yeah, okay, we'll have fun. And the guy was like, no, you will die, don't do that. Brake, go on the accelerator, make the turn. It's even, it's better to go wide. That's why we are here on Paul Ricard, that everything is a full, tarmac everywhere. It's a parking lot, so you can go as wide as you want, but don't lift your foot inside the turn. Don't do it. Just go wide. So that was that was one of those moments that you might have some doubts on your simulation and physics engine, because the cars are very difficult on Paul Ricard, and you're like, is it really like that? Is it really that you cannot control the car if you lift? And listening to that, you instantly say, oh, you see, yes, that's why we go in the real tracks to listen to the engineers and drivers, what they say. Yeah, exactly, the Lamborghini. And you see, the more downforce the car generates, and the harder it gets. That's how it works. Certo, zero. Prima o poi. I don't know, Liam. I think it's done. Sometimes I think, Thomas, but honestly, I have no idea. I'm not the one to. You need to send an email, probably official, to Kunos, and see if there are any places. The high caster, it moves around weight when you are turning. It raises one side of the car and lowers the other one, and generally also makes the steering wheel heavier while you're turning. That also helps you and gives you more stability. All that stuff gives you more stability and more turn-in. So I don't think it makes the car per se more stable, but all the effects that creates give you the impression that the car is stable, and it gives you also better feel on the turn-in and inside the turn while your steering wheel turned, and that helps you control the car better. That's, I think, what happens. Thanks, Bobby. Good night. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Almost 20 minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning. It's Friday. It's cool. But I think I'm going to call it a night. And we will have, in the middle of the week, some cuts and edits from this nice live stream. Watch again the news if you haven't watched them at the start of the stream. I will cut it and place it on YouTube. And I don't know if I'll be able to do another live stream practice. Might do that maybe together with the other guys of the team. But for sure, next Saturday we have again another 12 hours. So plenty to talk about, plenty driving to do. It's on Mount Panorama. Everything can happen, and it will happen. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Cheers. Bye. Cheers. And stream ending.